Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Y'all are going to take a trip with me while I traverse this pool we call South Florida right now in my old Soldier Maxima that been trucking through all of this water. I am surprised this engine hasn't seized up. Side note, we're just talking random right now. I'm going to get to the subject matter in a minute. I am surprised this thing done truck through at least 2 feet of water. I swear I haven't seen water run up on the windshield. I promise you, right? Oh my God. And the car been trucking through with trucks while I've watched very expensive Benzes and Beamers. I've seen 7 Series and Beamer S, excuse me, BMW 7 Series and Mercedes-Benz S classes, let alone Mercedes-Benz CLAs just sitting there in the water, right? So it's been pretty funny. I don't know if you guys heard me just now. I might have went out, so let's say that again. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in, and y'all gonna go on a ride with me to work while I talk about this South Florida pool that's been going on definitely between Dade and Broward County over the past day or so. We've gotten rain. It rained all day yesterday. Listen, all day yesterday to all my South Florida natives. Tell them all day yesterday we turned South Florida into a damn swimming pool. Okay, and my old Nissan, not the Z, but my daily. For those of you that don't know what a daily is, your daily is the car that you drive every day. It's not your toy that you put away and you try to drive once a week or once every other week, or if you really got the discipline, maybe once a month. So my old beat up 20-plus-year-old, yes, I'm looking to upgrade, but I just got outbidded for a car, a really, way more modern car that I was trying to get, and I lost out on that deal. So we're waiting again. We're playing the waiting game. I hate the waiting game when it comes to cars because I'm very specific on what I want and the features I want on that car. And when you finally get it, you're like, oh yeah, and then somebody outbids you for it, or somebody gets to it before you do, and then you're out of luck for, I don't know, a month or 2 or 6 or whatever until you get another chance, right? Anyway, so yeah, South Florida looking like a whole pool. And my Maxima trucked through 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water. Promise you, water was coming up on the windshield, and I watched Benzes and Beamers, right, have to be stalled out on the side of the road and all type of foolishness, right? Yeah, all your CLAs stalled out on the side of the road. Your BMW 7 Series stalled out on the side of the road. Some of your Benz S classes stalled out on the side of the road. Yeah, Mr. Z saw all of that yesterday, between yesterday and last night. Yep, it's real. Anyway, okay, so let's get to the topic at hand. Shout out, and I'll tag the videos, and I will tag Sarge Willie Pete, and I will tag Edward Anderson in the description and in the title later after the video, right? This is a response to Lady Boulay, I guess. And this is my response to Sarge Willie Pete and Ed. I listened to both of their videos. Sarge Willie Pete, I listened to his video night before last. I listened to Ed's video yesterday afternoon, or yesterday, approaching nighttime. Let's say this first. These people are just talking. You are correct, Sarge. Who has maids anyway? Right? Oh, for backstory for those of you, Sarge Willie Pete was engaging with this Miss Lady Boulay, and now it's about maids. So it's not even about black men being entrepreneurs. It's not about black men not having any money. It's not about black men not having as much education. It's not about black men building Wakanda. Now it's that black men need to provide their women with maids. Yes, in-home maids, for those of you that don't get it yet. So that's where the bar is now for these particular people. Now, let's be very clear. This is like some obscure side thing that women like this are engaging in. This really is like the myth of white womanhood, So if you're hearing women, black women, women of color, but black women in particular, talking about, okay, now we need maids, that really is myth the white womanhood talk right there, right? I do not take it seriously at all. I know that some of us will. I know that some women actually mean it. I know that some of them are not trying to be hyperbolic. They mean it, but I'm not taking that seriously, right? And Trell said handmade, right? But no, really a maid. Really a maid. They're talking about maids now, right? I'm not taking that seriously, right? Because we just don't live in that society. That's not a thing. Who's the richest group of people in America per capita? I think it's what the South Asian, the Indians, right? South Asian Indians. Yeah, they don't have maids like that. What are you talking about? You're just talking to be talking, right? And this goes back. Shout out to BGS, the myth of white womanhood. This is the myth of white womanhood, people. This is a black woman just talking. She's talking because she wants to live the extravagant life, and she thinks she knows what it looks like, or maybe not, but she's just talking, right? And we need not to take people like this too seriously, because even what they're trying to achieve is not a thing. This is not even like upper middle class. This is like absolute positive elite at the very, this is like 0.1% lifestyle now we talking. We're not even talking about 1%. Now we're talking 0.1%. Quite frankly, you can't put all or even most black women in the 0.1%. That's not a thing. Right. And so what we have here is just a lady talking, thinking she's saying something. And it really is, I don't ever want to get down with your program. Right. And I'm saying certain things I'm almost certain Ed understands already. That I'm not saying anything Ed doesn't know. And I don't think I'm saying anything that Sarge Willie Pete doesn't know either. He's really one of the founding people of this kind of black manosphere space. Yeah, no, she's just talking. Right. And it really is, I don't want to get down with your program. I don't want to get down with Black Men's program. I'm going to keep on moving the bar. I said it before. These people are going to put the bar to Jupiter, because what they really don't want to say, right, is I still want you to build Wakanda. Shout out to Chrissy, right? Because black men ain't shit until we build Wakanda. Yeah, we're using profanity this morning. I'm too frustrated to discipline myself and not use it. So, right, black men ain't shit until they build Wakanda. And even when you build Wakanda, okay, this is beautiful. That doesn't mean that I'm actually going to cooperate. Notice what I said there, Sarge. I didn't even put the bar at submit. They still don't even want to cooperate. Right? That's the catch. They want you to build Wakanda within the US, because they ain't going nowhere else. And quite frankly, men outside of the West don't have the money that these women are looking for. Not at any great number. Yeah, you might have some Eastern European dude with some money, obviously a couple of Africans with some money, a couple of different people in Latin America with some money. But for the most part, no, it's not a thing. And we all know it. So these women aren't going anywhere outside of the West, outside of America. So they want you to build Wakanda within America and then still not cooperate. I didn't even say submit. Right? That's why they keep on moving the bar. When they used to say, oh, there's more men in jail than in college, we showed them different. There's more black men in prison than in college. We showed them different. They moved the bar. Y'all are in poverty in mass. We showed them different. They moved the bar. Y'all are DVing women all over the place. We showed them the statistics, the numbers, the data. They moved the bar. Right? Because in reality, they just want to paint you out as this monster who doesn't value black women, doesn't value darker skin tones and broader noses and kinkier hair, right? You're this You are this defective white man. You're a wannabe white man, and you're defective at it. And whenever you show them, actually, we may not be where white men are, but we're doing pretty okay-ish, maybe for some of us. It doesn't matter because every single when they say collective, they literally mean every single. I just want y'all to understand. Every single black man isn't Robert Smith, and even if we were, to go to war with the imaginary scenario, black men wage war on the U.S. government. Somehow, magically, we win, and we either become the kings of the U.S. or we take like 3 states. Let's say we take Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, and then we turn that into our Mecca, into Dubai. I want y'all to understand they still won't be cooperating. They will still not cooperate because they're just talking. So now the bar for the women like this is black men need to provide black women with maids. Because she's just talking, and it's the myth of white womanhood, as if white women are living that life, or Asian women in America, or Latina women in America. This is their egos talking also. I want to defecate on other women, particularly non-black women. I want to look down on them. I want to look at you little nothing. Look at you, you little nothing. My man provides me a maid. I still don't cooperate with him though. Right? Because that's how they feel when they're in the presence of white women. I want you to, these people are sick. When they're in the presence of white women, they feel like ants. They feel little, and they want to return the favor. They look at and the beauty standard is an assault on other women outside of white women, right? Like outside of white women, the beauty standard, that European beauty standard, it is assault on women, but particularly black women, because they're the furthest away from those type of features and phenotypes usually, right? And so their what Chrissy call it, their lick back, right? What you thought was gonna get our lick back? Their lick back is for black men who they still don't cooperate with to build Wakanda, so that whenever black women leave that tri-state area that we conquered and we took over, and when they go travel back to the United States, that once again lost to black men, they can go shopping in the United States malls and look down on the white women behind the counter. Right? And talk down to them and be disrespectful and be snarky. Right? Because of what black men did, and here's the here's the kicker. They still wouldn't be cooperating with you when they get back home. They just want you to do all of that so that they can look down on white women in white women's presence, because their inferiority complex is insane. It's insatiable. These people have an insatiable inferiority complex. Towards other women, but primarily towards black women. All black women. Excuse me, I said black women. Towards other women of color, but primarily towards white women. The way they feel about white women and this myth of white womanhood. And are white women doing better than black women in mass? Of course. White supremacist country. But are they doing that much better to the point where they have maids in any number worth mentioning? It's probably sample negative, or sample negligible, excuse me. How many of these women have maids? Non-black women have maids. Right? And these people have watched way too many TV shows and movies and stuff. Which I think this is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So y'all can have a butler. Right? Yeah, they just watch too much television. Yes, people, they watch way too much television. You can't tell them nothing too, by the way, because it's real to them. Right? What other points? Because I had to put the points down. This is ridiculous to me. Materialism and consumerism, right? They just want to show off and brag that they have a maid. Nothing in their life is that pressing. They don't have a super busy schedule. Half of them want to be stay-at-home moms anyway. So what's the need of a maid? No one knows. They just want to brag about it. This is the height of hyper materialism, borderline slavery. Like you were kind of getting. I think Ed tried to got to a little to it also, and so did Sarge Willie Pete. They This is about as close as owning people as you can get, and they want that, right? They kind of want to feel that. I want to be clear. This one we ain't gonna put on all black women or even most. I almost don't even want to put it with most swirlers and divers because this type of talk right here is like this is when you get into like whimsical where it's almost cartoonish. This is like cartoonish level whimsical that we're listening to people talk now. Because now if we're saying if you can't have if you can't provide your wife I would argue they won't even just stop at wife. They probably mean girlfriend. They probably mean woman you're just having casual sex with. But what they're saying is if you can't provide these people with maids, then what type of man are you? Right? You could throw a bunch of stuff in the pot. You could throw feminism in the pot, materialism in the pot, consumerism in the pot, the commodification of people, ideas, things, right, in the pot. You could throw insatiable inferiority complex in the pot, and you stew that up, and you have these particular type of black women that are now demanding that for them to air quotes submit. They're never going to submit, or even cooperate. They're not going to do that either. Now black men have to provide them with maids. Get out of here. And I understand, Sarge Willie Pete engaging, the conversation in good faith anyway. But he know they just talking. You gotta know that she's just talking. And what she's really saying is, I'm never gonna submit, I'm never gonna cooperate. So I'm just gonna put the bar at impossible now because I know you're not gonna achieve it. And if for the men that do, I will still always have the excuse, well, it's not all black men. It's not the collective of like Chrissy tried to hide behind that word also. The collective of black men, because she had to admit, yeah, the men in her life support her. So now we got to talk about the collective of black men. The collective, you're not in a relationship. So the collective of black men not supporting you mean that men that you don't know, but because the men that you know in your life support you. So you want random Negroes to do stuff for you, even though you're the one that's insufferable, Miss Chrissy. But that's neither here nor there. Back to Miss Boulay. Right? And the myth of white womanhood that's playing in her mind. That's why she wants black men to build Wakanda so she could get over her insatiable inferiority complex. Right? And Indigo Flow says, not black women aspiring to be like the oppressor. Oh no, brother, some of these people, what is it the Franz Fanon quote that says the oppressed often take on the worst characteristics of the oppressor? These particular brand of black women, that is what they are. I told you they want to look down on white women. They want to sneer at white women. They want to walk into a store and have all the latest nice fashion, right? They want to, jump out the back seat of the Maybach 62, right? Or of a really nice Phantom, Rolls Royce Phantom plush, and they want to shop at name the highest grade department store you could imagine. And then the white woman who sits on her high horse, the black woman wants to be sitting on even a higher horse and look down on her and throw her black card at her. Say, ring these up. And my maid will bring them to the car, or my butler will bring them to the car. right? Like I've played these scenarios out for you. I played out the scenario for y'all where they go back to their neighborhood that they grew up in, and the cute light skinned chick or whoever the cute woman was, the middle schooler or high schooler that developed way too early, so she had the shape, and all the boys used to drool over her. They want to walk to the local gas station. They want that woman to be working behind the counter, and they want to pull up with either a baller black dude or a chisel chin white dude, and they want to jump out the passenger seat or maybe drive it herself, but it's not the same because they want to show that they pulled a really wealthy dude, right? So they want to jump out the passenger seat of the S600 Maybach, go inside to pay for the gas because they want to be seen, so they got to go inside to pay for the gas, even though that you could pay for it right there at the pump. No, 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 no. How do I show off? Go inside, pay for it, but they got to pay for the gas in a notable card. They want a black card because for any of you that ever held the black card, it's metal. You could actually feel it's actually way heavier than this plastic stuff that we carrying around, right? Right. Then they want to ring up their gas, look at her, look down on her. Haha, you would a ish, right? What 50 said, damn homie. Back then you were a man, homie. They want to play that scenario out in their head. They want to play that scenario out in their head. Excuse me. Mr. Z said that wrong. They're playing that scenario out in their head. They want to play that scenario out in real life, right? These people don't have no larger consciousness on black people or black women. They talk that talk. They don't. Because like Chrissy said, every once in a while they'll admit like the men in their life are doing their job. They are they are protecting them or they are supporting them, right? The issue they have is that the collective of black men aren't. Translation: the black men I like and I find attractive and appealing aren't checking for me. So I'm going to make up all of this insanity to make because if I have to end up with you Negroes that I don't actually find appealing or arousing or attractive, then I'm going to put the bar to the ceiling because the guys that I want don't want me. So if I got to settle, ugh, yuck, disgusting. If I have to settle for the men that I don't necessarily find appealing and attractive and don't get my panties wet, then I'm going to put the bar at impossible, right? Well, one of my local news anchors is a cutie, that's for sure. Slim, cute, chocolate sister. I see you. They got her standing on the curb about to do this news report on this flooding because it's practically flooded for real. And in a second, I'm probably going to tell you guys I'm going to have to pause for a second as I try to traverse this water, right? But yeah, so they just talking. They're just talking, right? And y'all give me a second. Let me see if I can make it through this intersection alive. Y'all give me a second. All right, we made it through the intersection. We made it through the intersection. We got one more to go because that intersection is going to be insane. This next one, look at all the cars on the side of the road. I'm telling y'all, man, South Florida right now is a whole pool, right? Get your floaties and trash just floating. Oh man, the litter, right? Okay, so we're back. Um, the numbers. Okay, so y'all know Mr. Z know 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. 60% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Right now, inflation is hitting like 20%, or stagflation, excuse me, is hitting like 20%, right? And this is, Fed policy trying to, take all the money out the liquidity out the system that they've been pumping in the system since the housing recession of what, '08, since the housing crisis of '08. They're gonna try to suck out over a decade of money they just been floating the economy with. Let me take that back. They may not try to take all that money back, but they're definitely trying to dry up all of this loose money, all of this kind of free money. And so a lot of people are going to feel some pain. And in that environment, Lady Boulay talking like this. Mind you, you ever notice that these people talk like this regardless of what's going on outside, right? Because they don't care what's going on outside, right? They don't care what's going on outside. Now that I've been telling you to allow them to be comfortable. Now they're telling you got to be wealthy enough to provide a maid, right? So you add that on top of the private school like Exeter that we have to send our children to. Now we got to be able to provide to have a maid and live. Forget just gated communities. Stop it. They want to live in some of the most exclusive zip codes in the country, right? Yeah, Trail Bentley, they call it quantitative tightening, right? And oh yeah, let me read that just in case anybody's just listening. And Trail Bentley said quantitative easing in reverse. Yeah, they call it quantitative tightening, right? For those of us that remember, even if you're not, I'm not an economist by any stretch of the imagination, but for those of us that remember when we were like, okay, quantitative easing, all right, quantitative easing, QE2, what? All right, QE3, quantitative easing 3, what the hell? I think I lost count. I think we was at like 7. I think it was something dumb. I think there was 2 of them where they didn't call it quantitative easing. They called it something else, but it was essentially quantitative easing. They just was pumping money in the system like back to back. Like I remember like almost losing count around like 5. Like what? Wait a minute. Is this a thing? This is a thing. Right? But once again, it doesn't matter the environment. These people are just talking. Right? Talking about maids. Man, if you don't get the entire hell out of here. Shout out to you, Sarge Willie Pete, for engaging in this anyway. I probably would too. Let's be clear. We're kind of gluttons for punishment, but we know they just talking. Right? What's the other one? Oh yeah, no, we were going through the numbers. We were going through the numbers. So let me say that part again. 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. That's not just black people, that's Americans. 80, oh, it's dry over here. Oh, the other place I thought it was going to be a whole pool, you guys, it's not there. uh, I, I'm looking at selling this car, but now I kind of don't want to sell it because it's a Soldier. Any of y'all ever have an old car and it's like kind of a beater, but you like have memories and the thing then got you through thick and thin, right? So you kind of feel guilty. You almost feel like you're stabbing it in the back by selling it. Almost like the car got a personality. Like, you gonna sell me, player? You know how much I've been through with you, and you gonna sell me, right? I think I'm just gonna probably try to keep it in the family, spruce it up a little bit. I know it needs a paint job, but other than that, right? And it has gotten me through a lot. So especially when I was in the struggle. So yeah, show it some loyalty and not sell it, right? Okay, so let's do the numbers one more time. I'm sorry, because we got to go through a bunch of numbers. 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. 60% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Currently, your average or median house price is over $400,000. What else do we know? Your average new car price is some thousand. It's really $48,000. Your average new car price is what bumping past what $35,000. Um, excuse me. We know more than half of Americans are not unionized, if I'm not mistaken, right? So in that environment, you still have people like whoever this lady is, Miss Boulay, just talking, right? Just talking. And we are supposed to take her seriously, mind you, right? We are supposed to take her seriously. Like I told y'all, stagflation. I don't even. What am I saying? Forget. Like I told y'all, like you are living. I don't have to tell you anything. Like y'all are living. Stagflation hitting like 20%. That's 20% off of, or 20% on top of what you would normally pay for certain items, or you know, certain things you would have done, certain services. That's the word I was looking for. And stagflation hitting like 20%. And yet you got people talking about having maids in that environment. Now, Ed brought up something about the weirdo divestors and sometimes them saying stuff like, "I want black men to die." Like they want black men to disappear, right? They want to Thanos snap black men off of the planet, as if white men are going to start. They really believe. Like, let me say this. We already know, and this lets you know they know that racism, anti-blackness is primarily a male sport, and it's men being targeted. But this is what they think. They really think if we could just get rid of black men, if we could just get black men to disappear, then white men will take us on, right? Latino men will take us on. Asian men will take us on. We just got to get these pesky black men out the way, because white men and Latino men and Asian men, they still question our loyalty to them when black men are in the picture. Even if they hear us saying the most black and denigrating black, assaulting black men's masculinity and manhood, even if they hear us and see us doing that, they still question us. So if we could Thanos snap black men off of the planet, definitely out of America, with no way to return, right? Then we can have all of our access to white men and Latin. It really is white men. I don't even want to include anyone else. It really is white men, right? As if white women aren't going to defend their position. But what would there be to defend? It's as if white men would actually be down to elevate black women over white women. Y'all realize that white men are marrying Asian women in an insane number of Asian women's population, and they still are not elevating the likeness and the beauty of Asian women? And as much as y'all want to talk crap about black men are not elevating the beauty of non-black women over black women. That's not what men do. Y'all little fifis make y'all feel like that's what black men are doing. Black men are not elevating, right? Now, is there going to be a light-skinned black woman in there? Probably. Racially ambiguous black women in there? Yes. But Chrissy herself, who was it that had the music video years ago? It had nothing but black slim women from different shades of black women. And Chrissy was like, it's not good enough. Why? Because of the different phenotypes. There weren't heavier set black women in there. There weren't black women with broader noses in there. The music video literally had nothing but but black women. And it wasn't just light-skinned black women. No. Mainly black women that didn't pass the brown paper bag test. I saw the music video. And it still wasn't good enough, because it's never going to be good enough. Dear black men, the black women that sound like this, not all, let's be honest, with this one, it's not all. But the black women that sound like this, oh, it's never going to be good enough. Right? They're just talking to be talking at this point. They put the bar, right, on Jupiter, on Pluto, goddamn, outside the damn galaxy, right? They put the bar out of the galaxy because what they're really telling you is I'm never going to get down with no black man's program. Forget submit. I'm never going to cooperate. Right? I love the game. Right? They love the back and forth between black women and black men. They love not getting down with a black. This is the inner feminist chip in them. All that talk of if y'all just would do this or if y'all would just do that, well, more and more you're hearing them say, like BGS said, more and more you're hearing them say that the black community is a matriarchy. They're never going to let go or give up the rings of power. Never. They're just trying to find ways of getting you to still do and bow down and alpha your way. Shout out to Arta Imor. Alpha your way back onto the plantation. That was a genius quote, brother. Alpha your way back onto the plantation. Arta Imor said that last night, and he was dead ass right. I'm rhyming now, right? They just want you to alpha your way back onto the plantation and shut the hell up. That's why shout out to, and I'm always doing shout outs. I can't help it. Shout out to Dr. T, because he knows the meme that he referenced before, he put up before, but I referenced, which is a lady literally saying, I miss the days when men would just die and leave you their life insurance. That's what they want. Find them out alpha, get the genes from him, the 6'2" tall chisel chin brothers. Get the genes from him, get the DNA from him, have them some kids, right? He either worked himself to death and die at an early age, or the lamoid that they have to help raise those kids worked themselves to death and died at an early age. And then she take your life insurance money and live the life she wanted to live anyway, free and fast. Right? They're just talking, Sarge. And I'm almost certain I'm not telling you something you already know. I just got to say it. They're just talking, bro. They put the bar at impossible because they never actually want to be down with any man's program. Believe it or not, they don't even want to be down with the white man's program. They don't want to be down with anybody's program. They don't even want to cooperate. Understand what I'm saying? So forget submit. They don't even want to cooperate, and you have the majority vote at 51, 55%, right? You understand y'all dealing with a type of woman now. She don't even want to have the minority vote where she get what she want at 45%. Where you're like, you know what, babe? Yeah, you know what? You're right. This time, yeah, you know what? 4.5 out of 5 times, 4.5 out of 10 times, 4 out of 10 times, 40%, 40% of the time, 45% of the time, we'll go with your plan. Right? You hear what I'm saying, Trell? And Trell said, Papa would leave Big Mama the house. Exactly. That type of talk. Right? They're just talking and talking and talking. And now they put it in the bar to and it's funny because these two things coincide with each other. I'm almost certain these women didn't reference each other or were speaking to each other. But either way, they still are on like minds. Chrissy told you ain't shit until you build Wakanda. And Miss Boulay is talking about black men pretty much ain't ish. And these were in her words, of course. But black men, where's the maid? If you can't provide black women with maids, then what are you doing exactly? Right? Because this goes to show you they don't want to be down with no man's program. That's why Chrissy out here, right, doing the polygamous thing. I'm not going to be down with any man's program, white, black, Latino, or otherwise. Now, I will use non-black men and what I feel like they've accomplished to badger black men upside the head with, oh yeah, I'll do that, but I'm not getting down with no man's program, right? What other point does Mr. Z have? Yeah, the women of color worshiping white men. So, like I said, we see this with Mindy Kaling. We see this with other women. What Asian woman was it that the East Asian dudes were referencing a couple years ago? That pretty much said, she sees Asian men as her brother, and so it's all about white men, not South Asian men, not black men, not Latino men, very visibly and clearly Latino men. We're not talking about the white Latinos, right? But white men. It's women of color worshiping white dudes, bro. That is not exclusive to black women. And we have to ask the question, y'all have heard me ask it before, what did colonialization do to the minds of women of color? Right? Y'all give me a second. That's the lady calling. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, we're back, babe. I said we're back, baby. That lets you know that I was just saying, babe. Oh, by the way, Mr. Z is the person that says babe every other word when I'm talking to my lady, like every other word. I, I mean it. Anyway, so we're back. Let me see. Let me see if they're open. Y'all give me 1 second. Again, I'm sorry, y'all. Technical. Well, it's not technical difficulties. It's the operator. It's the host. The host ain't shit. Give me a second, y'all. On non-troll, I'm definitely not the anything you say, dear. I'm not that guy. You can ask my lady. That I'm not. Now this is true. Yes, babe. What do you want for breakfast? Now this is definitely me. That is me. Y'all give me a second. Troll got me dying right now. Indigo said, damn Z, give them a chance to finish making the biscuits. Look, Z is not at Popeyes right now. I am getting Burger King breakfast because I don't have the time to stop at IHOP and get something a little bit more real. Um, and air quotes on the real. Oh, there we go. And we're back. Um, Dr. Thunder, I'm gonna need you not to call me out. And Dr. Thunder says Z is the interrupt the live stream for his lady type. I've done it. I've definitely done it. Look, we're not professional on that level yet where I'm not doing that. But no, eventually though. No, seriously. Eventually that is gonna be a thing where, that she knows, right? I'm waiting for this lady to come to the window, but she's not. Dr. Thunder killed me with that. Definitely, right. And Dr. Thunder, we're just this morning we are just responding to Sarge Willie Pete and Edward Anderson's video about Lady Boulay, which is a lady that pretty much said that if black men can't provide black women with maids, then what are we doing? So you can put that on the list of things like Chrissy saying that black men ain't shit until further notice, which is until black men build Wakanda. She literally said build Wakanda, by the way. I'm not making that up. Like I was saying that before, and then it's funny to hear them actually confirm it. Like, yeah, nigga, you need to build Wakanda. So we all speculated that that's what these particular type of black women, because I refuse to say all black women. This is not all. This is not even most. Like this, shout out to Ed. Mine and you. This mental illness is not all black women thing. Like, yeah, I'm with Ed on this one. This is a mental illness. this when you talk about maids, oh no, this is a mental illness. And building Wakanda, yeah. And that's what I said, Dr. Thunder. And Dr. Thunder says the maid won't matter, and that's what I said. That's exactly what I was saying. Like it thank you. They won't even cooperate, let alone submit, even if you did have the maid. Even if you did have the McMansion or the whole on mansion, the full on mansion, right? And the driver and the Rolls Royce Phantom or Maybach 62. Notice I said Maybach 62 because you got to go backwards, because the new Maybach S600s, they're nice, but they don't have the same like presence as the older Maybachs, the 62, and I think what's the other one, the smaller one that you drive. I think the 62 is the one that you get driven in, and then the smaller one, I think was it the 53 is the one that you drive. Either way, right? But you're right. Right, and that's what I said. They won't. The maid won't matter. Exactly. They're just talking. That's what I'm saying to Sarge Willie Pete. That I know he knows. I know he gets it. I'm not saying anything.
Would you like ketchup?
No, ma'am. That's okay.
Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, so we got our breakfast, people, and we on our way. Right? Yeah. They're not. Yeah, the maid won't matter. And just talking to be talking, and moving the bar from somewhere on this planet to somewhere, I don't know, outside of this galaxy, because what they're really saying is, I'm never going to get down with your program. I'm never going to get down with any black man's program. I don't care what y'all provide, but I'll entertain you. I'll humor you, right? With saying, okay, yeah, if y'all could provide the collective of black women maids, right? Then yeah, it's insanity, right? It's the myth of white womanhood on steroids, right? Because they don't want to be equal to your average white woman, because like I keep continuously say, your average white woman is Roseanne, right? Your average white woman is Peg Bundy, right? They don't want that. They want to look down on elite white women, right? They want to be Bernie Madoff's wife. Why did you choose Bernie Madoff, Mr. Z? Scamming. Right? They want the ultimate in scam god. And Ponzi scheme god. Right? And like I said, I mean this, this is, where I kind of differentiate between me and some of the other brothers in the space, is like, this is not a most black women thing. Right? This type of talk is not a most black women thing. Most black women don't sound like this, right? As much issues as we have with them, as much as they compare us to these mythical, magical white women, or compare their life to mythical, magical white women, and compare black men to these mythical, magical white dudes, as much as they do that type of talk, They're not asking for maids, and they're not telling black men to build Wakanda necessarily. That's when you get into the divester and swirler talk, and on an insane level, this dude is still walking around with the MAGA flag. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. The Trump worship is real because, bruh, there's a whole flood out here, right? And we have to be honest with that. And I'm about divide and conquer. To be frank with you, right? I am about divide and conquer, and I am about making the distinction what our difference is, so that we could fracture their little rings, because they really don't agree with anything except black men ain't ish, right? And thank you, Kev C. Shout out to Kevin C. Thank you for the super chat. I mean, well, the super sticker. Thank you very much. Dr. Thunder, what are you telling me right now? Dr. Thunder said single moms are asking married women to share their husbands to do odd jobs around the house. You hear this? Y'all hear this foolishness, people? Y'all hear this foolishness? So, not only are you your wife's friend's kind of handyman, now you just random woman's handyman. Random black women want you to come around the house and lay some pipe, and maybe literally lay some pipe, and figuratively lay some pipe. Ah, pun intended, just in case y'all don't know. this is Dr. Thunder. What are you? This is craziness. But this is what happens when you forego nuclear family. And this is why they keep on talking about the collective, the collective, the collective. This is what I was telling, and this is what others are attempting to tell FD Signifier and the like, right? They want a big tent, and this is where the conservatives are 100% right. This is where Mr. Z agrees with the conservative brothers 100%. My conservative brethren, this is where I agree with y'all. They want this big ass tent or big ass safety net, both, right? These particular type of women, because they don't ever actually want to commit to any single man, right? Not for any long periods of time. So they want black men to collectively be the cleanup men, right? Trails and meat delivery, hysterical, right? This is where they get into that type of talk of the collective of black men haven't done this and the collective of black men haven't done that. Translation: I want to be able to have sex with Pookie, right? I want to be able to have Pookie's children, and I want the collective of black men to provide me the security, the safety, like Dr. Thunder is saying, do the little odd jobs around my house. Maybe the odd job is me, right? Like, and they mean it. I just want you to know, these women mean it. They mean it. Because and Chrissy got the nerve to call black men insufferable, because they're insufferable. Nobody wants to be with them. Not black men, not white men, not no one. No one that's not in dire straits can tolerate them. Forget be with them and enjoy it. No man that's not in dire straits, that's not destitute, can tolerate these women. They're insufferable. Christy, you want to know why black men's marriage rate is higher than black women's marriage rate? It's because black women like you, Chrissy, are insufferable. And now y'all talking about building Wakanda in Maids. What? And I don't know Lady Boule, but the Chrissies of the world should know better. And they do know better. That's why they told you build Wakanda. Because they know the numbers. And they know how insane they sound. Chrissy knows how crazy she sounds. She knows. She's never gonna give up on it because one dude slighted her. And now that I know who it is and I know the backstory better, what you imagine you're so fickle and fragile that you claim that you were pro-black, you were all about blackity black, and one dude who's known to do certain things, people know his antics. Shout out to the brother. I'm not gonna speak bad about him. In one situation, or even a small series of situations, makes you say, you know what, screw y'all, screw this whole project. Well, you weren't about it in the first place, then, right? Take your little weak, fragile ass the hell on, then, and don't get down with another man's program, because let's be honest, you don't want to get down with any man's program, and that's okay. And you have the money and the finances to not, but stop complaining about what black men aren't doing, because you don't want to get down with anyone's program anyway. You don't want to have children. You don't care to be married. Then you want what? You want to be with the man so that he could just provide you a lifestyle, and you're not going to give him no children, and you don't want to really be married, because guess what? Being married means that at worst, on his part, you have to cooperate with him, or at best, you have to submit. You don't want to do neither. So now I understand why you don't want to get married, because if you're with a white man, you guess what you're going to have to do. If you're with a Latino man, guess what you're going to have to do. If you're with an Asian man, South or East Asian, guess what you're going to have to do. If you're with the indigenous man, guess what you're going to have to do. Right? That's why so many of them are telling you they don't care for marriage. Right? The quiet part out loud is that it's not just black men. They don't care for marriage with any man. Right? That's the quiet part out loud. That's why they don't care to have children also. Yes, the finances. Y'all know Mr. Z always talks about that. Yes, the current environment. Yes, there's precarity in the environment and it's scaring the hell out of millennials and Gen Z, of course. And with that is the fact that they don't want to couple up with anyone. And that's okay. Mr. Z's not against, believe it or not, Mr. Z's not against that. I know it has deleterious effects on your society. Oh, you can't maintain no society or community with a bunch of atomized people. Oh no, that's not a thing. Right? But okay, on the individual level, cool. But they don't actually believe that the collective trumps the individual. They talk that talk until it's time to tell them, yeah, by the way, your little gripes, your little issues are not more important than the collective. They talk that collective talk until it's time to tell them that their individual feelings about a situation, okay, let's not belittle it. Their individual thoughts about a situation don't matter as much as what's best for the rest of everyone else. For everyone else. Okay, I will, Doug. And Dr. Thunder says, check it out. Sherry Shepherd. We already know what Sherry Shepherd is on. See, you should have got down with what's his name when you had the chance. Then you got married, then y'all got divorced, or whatever the hell happened, and now you just out here. Anyway, and Dr. Thunder says, check it out. Sherry Shepherd just made this public plea for husbands to help single mothers. Shissa Zed covered the story. I'll check it out. I will. I might do my own review on that. Oh boy, today at work is gonna be fun. Not I'm looking at all, because the water receded, and so we just have mulch and stuff all over the place. Oh, this is gonna be great. My day is going to be wonderful. Not Yeah, right. So let's go through the rest of the points before I have to close it out. Let's yeah. So we already spoke about the colonized mind. We already spoke about them really wanting to be elite white women, right? Oh yeah, the other point, to make up for you as a black man not being a white man, you have to provide them a maid, right? We definitely don't want to miss the part that these people, these particular type of women, are telling you, well, you're not a white man, so you know you got to come with some extra on top, right? You're not a white. Remember, black man, you're not a white man, so you got to come with extra. The maid will suffice. Jetty Bean with the jokes. He said, "I thought Atlanta was Wakanda." Hysterical, right? Chocolate City is not Wakanda, right? Not according to them. That's Blackistan, actually, right? So we've gone through enough. I just want to come to y'all with my little review of what you know, and excuse me, and Kevin C says to Dr. Thunder, that same BS in addition to being a full-time father, husband, employee, business owner, and citizen, the demand is now to assist single mothers and their kids for free. Hey, exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, Kevin C wasn't here. I said, Kev, the bar is on Jupiter, Kev. The bar is on Jupiter or Pluto or outside the galaxy. And it's not all. This is not even most. I'm not even gonna do black women a disservice with saying most today. I'm not. This is a mentally ill minority of black women talking this crazy, right? I'm not even gonna say most on this. It's definitely not all. But these are the type of people that we need to put in straitjackets. This is the straitjacket cohort, right? It's crazy. It's crazy talk, right? So, we'll pause right here. Let me read this comment real quick. And thank you, Better You, for the super chat. And Better You said, LOL, this is all a distraction. They excuse me. They're trying to get you to look past their mama auntie on Freaknik Doc. They don't want us to know who their mama was or who they were. And he says, let's see what they'll do for a maid. Bruh. I mean, if you want a transactional situation, ladies, if you want it to get really dark and ugly, you want that you don't want to know what it looked like to really be in that transactional business relationship. You don't want black men to get cold like all those hyper capitalist business white men that y'all worship. If black men started sounding like that when it comes to marriage, y'all want to know what that sound like? Okay, and Dr. Thunder says I'm about to go live. Similar topic. Yeah, let's keep on going. Let's keep it going. Right? You want to know what it sounds like when a man of means starts to tell you what you got to be, what you have to be married to him? Not you in your demands. No, his demands. Now y'all know why Christy talking about not being married. She probably tried to pull that with white dudes, and they probably oh, that's what you want. Okay, well I want this, and this. Tampa Bong said, Mr. Z's maid fun. Yeah, Mrs. Z ain't asked for no maid. Yeah, we're not there. And even if we had the means, we would not be there. Made. Made for insufferable people like these people. Get out of here. Ooh. Say that, Vash. Vash says, Tareen Rain made a video on Kim Foster the other day. Oh, okay. Thank both of you, Dr. Thunder. And as a matter of fact, while I'm still on, let me do that now. Let me look that up now. Let me make sure. Okay. Because I want to make sure that I have these up so that when I get off with you guys, I can look these up. Okay. And okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna call it a day. So let's do our outro. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button. Thank you for listening in. I will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Dr. Thunder is about to be up, and other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. Right? I'm saying that more and more, the love of God part, because I want us to have a a wide array of information and knowledge, so we don't sound like Miss or Lady Boule, right? So we can stop sounding like that, and I don't think black men sound like that anyway, but for the handful of us that might, so we don't sound like that, right? Or he said, I posted it on your community. Thank you very much, Vash, right? And we'll end it right there. Wow. Hey, we ain't shit until we build Wakanda, people. Number one. Number two, now they need maids in their life. And on that note, we will end it there. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.